This year in the house we are celebrating 75 years of the house being open to the public, and this happened in 1949. So the 6th Marquess of Bath at that time, he'd just inherited from his father who had died in 1946, and with the house and Longleat estate he'd inherited huge financial difficulties as well, including a massive death duties bill of £700,000, which is about 20 million, I think, in today's money. And so he took the decision to open the house to the public. And this was quite a brave decision and a new decision, because this had been done by very few people before then. He was one of the very first stately homeowners to try this out, and nobody really knew if it would work or not. At the moment we're going through some of the objects and the relics from that time, and although this was a big moment and a turning point along its history, a lot of them have a very sort of modest appearance, a sort of almost a homespun vibe, which is kind of quite charming. This sign actually survives from the very first days of opening, and it was the first house open sign, and in fact it went on all the way up till 1993, just after the 6th Marquess himself died, and it used to proclaim to everyone that the house was open to the public. So it's quite an important relic for us at Longleat. And then the Marchioness of Bath, Daphne, wrote a little guidebook about Longleat, and you could buy that for 2 shillings 6pence, and that was written, they say, by her in 3 weeks only. And as you can see, this sort of thing was publicised by this very homemade sign, which is about one of the only signs that was produced at the time. As you can see, it's made out of bits of cord to make the word Longleat, and the book is there tied on in a bit of velvet. And it's shown, in fact, in many photographs. So one of them is in this photograph album. And here we see Daphne Bath giving out one of the guidebooks, and the sign can just be seen in the background. The 6th Marquess was not shy of courting publicity, and he didn't mind talking to the papers, which I think is one of the things that made the house opening quite successful at Longleat. Some of his sort of fellow peers thought it was a bit vulgar to actually do this sort of thing, but he was absolutely happy to do this to promote Longleat. And one of the things he actually agreed to do was appear on a BBC television programme about Longleat, and that was a couple of months after they opened the house to the public. And it was a very new thing, the sort of television programmes. Most of the BBC programmes were live broadcast at the time, so they had to actually do it from Alexandra Palace. So what they did was took extraordinary pains to create part of the Great Hall, recreate it in the Studio A at Alexandra Palace, so that they could broadcast a programme with the Marquess.
So Longleat had opened its doors to the public, and people were obviously coming along to see the grandeur of the house. But obviously with that, we needed some more practical amenities as well. Therefore, by the summer of 1949, the cafe was opened. We have to remember it was 1949, and rationing from the war was still happening, so it was quite a basic menu of bread and butter, sandwiches, and of course, a nice cup of tea to wash it all down with. And here we have actually the original ticket machine. It was an old bus conductor's machine, obviously a little bit different to the e-tickets we have today. We'd love you to come along and see our exhibition, A Brave New Longleat. So you can book on one of the tours between the 22nd of March and 17th of July, and we hope you enjoy it.